Why did they treat her like she didn't belong? That question lingered in the stale air of the briefing bay, as if every insult thrown her way still vibrated against the walls. But Anya Sharma didn't blink, didn't flinch, didn't even straighten her posture to challenge them. She simply inhaled, the faint ozone from the pressure sensors embedded in the walls, the coppery tang of oil from the rifles racked nearby, and the young arrogance filling the room like smoke. Silent, calm, readiness. But if anyone had been paying attention, really paying attention, they would have noticed her stance, her balance, her hands, not the hands of someone lost or intimidated, the hands of someone who knew violence with intimate familiarity and carried it like a quiet shadow. The recruits didn't see that. They saw a woman in simple gray clothes, smaller than them, older than them, and not wearing a uniform. That alone was enough for the laughter to start. "Look at this, boys. Central Command sent us a den mother," Staff Sergeant Riggs announced, triumphant in his performance. "Ma'am, the knitting club's down the hall." The recruits cackled. Their laughter was the brittle kind, loud because it lacked substance, sharp because it masked insecurity. Anya stood alone, letting the insult glide right past her like wind over stone. Behind the observation glass, high above them, General Marcus Thorne leaned forward. The ghost of a memory tugged at him, a flicker from a distant battlefield, night vision green, a figure moving through chaos like it was choreography. Could it be? He squinted, that posture, that stillness, that quiet vigilance. Riggs continued his show. "This is Ms. Anya Sharma, boys, a consultant from logistics," he sneered, "probably here to count paper clips." Another wave of laughter, louder, crueler, and every second counted against them more than they knew. Jennings, the star of the platoon, stepped forward, young, sharp jaw, rifle confidence, a boy who believed the universe aligned behind his trigger finger. He saw a target. She saw a mistake. But she said nothing. Her eyes scanned the kill house instead, mapping windows, choke points, door angles, the way someone scans a place they've entered under fire before. Jennings flipped his rifle up with a theatrical flourish. "Goal is under 4 seconds, ma'am. Pretty sure your clipboard doesn't beat that," he said, voice dripping with ego. The others snickered. Anya said nothing. But something inside her shifted, a quiet gear turning, a sleeping instinct stretching awake. They didn't notice. Jennings misread her silence as fear. He leaned closer, raised the rifle. The red training laser climbed, slid into place, right between her eyes. "Boom," he whispered. The laughter died. Because every recruit, even the careless ones, knew that rule. You never point a weapon at someone you don't intend to kill. General Thorne slammed a hand down, reaching for the intercom. Too late. A choice had already been made, not by him, by her. The smallest breath, the slightest drop of her weight, her muscles realigning, years of lethal routine sharpening the moment into one clear line. Time to act. Jennings blinked. And in that blink she moved. A whisper of violence, a single fluid idea turning into motion. Her left hand knocked the barrel upward. Her right hand brushed a nerve in his wrist, gentle as tapping a door. The rifle clattered into her grip as if it belonged there. Jennings didn't even understand he'd lost control until his knees hit the ground. The first target popped from a doorway. She fired. A window mannequin appeared. She turned at the waist. No wasted steps, 2 rounds. 2 more targets flanked. She knelt, changing elevation, 3 rounds placed like punctuation. The final hostage scenario, only a sliver exposed, 1 breath, 1 shot. 31 seconds. 5 enemies neutralized with terrifying calm. The hiss of compressed air faded. Silence swallowed the room whole. Recruits stared, not at a woman with a rifle, but at something else entirely. A ghost wrapped in flesh. Jennings clutched his wrist, shock drowning him. Riggs stood frozen, face drained white. The recruits no longer looked like predators. They looked like children. General Thorne stepped from the booth, descending like judgment. He walked toward her, boots echoing slow and commanding. The recruits snapped to attention out of instinct, not respect. His eyes locked on hers. He already knew. "I haven't seen a transition that clean since Zagros, 09, he said quietly. Zagros Mountains. The raid that turned survivors into legends. Only one operator moved like that. He entered a few commands into the wall display. Her file illuminated the bay in cold digital light. SHARMA, ANYA Master Sergeant retired. United States Army. 1st SFODD. Delta Force. Jennings visibly swallowed. His pulse hammered so loud he could hear it. General Thorne's voice struck the silence like a verdict. You believe you are warriors because you can shout orders and sprint through mock rooms. She fought in places you don't even have clearance to know exist. He scanned the stunned faces. This paper pusher has more confirmed kills than your platoon has push-ups. She has forgotten more about combat than Sergeant Riggs will ever learn. Riggs flinched. Thorne turned to her and rendered a perfect slow salute. The room held its breath. A general saluting a woman in plain clothes, a retired master sergeant, a living myth. It is an honor to have you here, he said. Forgive their ignorance. Jennings stood shaking, eyes locked forward. He tried to speak, couldn't. His entire identity had just shattered. Everything he thought made him strong exposed as fragile ego. Anya finally looked at him. Not with anger. With choice. You made a mistake, she said softly. The question is, what will you do now? She walked past him, no fanfare, no smirk, no pride. Her footsteps were the loudest thing in that room. The recruits remained frozen long after she disappeared from sight. Respect had taken the place of arrogance. And fear, no, something deeper. Reverence. Jennings finally exhaled. The weight on his chest felt crushing. His arm throbbed. His pride burned. He whispered only to himself. I deserved that. General Thorne watched him a long moment. Then quietly he smiled. Because sometimes transformation begins not with praise, but with a crash. And a question. Why did she leave the battlefield where legends are born? That question stalked Anya long after she walked out of Training Bay 7. Her boots touched concrete, sunlight warmed her face, but she didn't feel the warmth. She felt the ghosts. She had come here to evaluate, observe, write down numbers that pretended to measure readiness, a quiet job for a quiet life. Yet life had a habit of testing the stories we tell ourselves. Her phone buzzed once, no name. No number, just a black screen with 3 words. We need you. Her heartbeat skipped like a stone across a lake. No. Not again. She turned the screen off, shoved the phone into her pocket and forced her feet forward. She was done with that world. She had made her peace, buried her service with the dead she left behind. Haven't you? A bitter voice inside whispered. Sunlight flickered across rows of armored vehicles. Soldiers laughed, trained, lived, unaware how fragile their world really was. Anya paused by a railing overlooking the whole base. Once upon a time, she trained others to never pause. Pausing got you killed. Now pausing was all she had. She exhaled, controlled, even, the way her therapist told her to breathe. Present moment, Anya. You're safe now. Safe? Yes. The lie tasted metallic. Footsteps approached slowly, careful not to intrude. Private Jennings. He halted exactly 2 paces behind her. She could feel the tension radiating from him like static electricity. I know what I did was unforgivable, he said quietly. I want to be better. She didn't turn. Didn't want to see the broken ego piecing itself together. He didn't need her approval. He needed purpose. Then start by respecting the weapon, she said. Respecting people, respecting yourself. He nodded, even though she couldn't see. I thought strength was loud, he admitted. Turns out silence can scream. Silence, yes it could. She finally looked at him, eyes red, posture careful, shame stitched into every movement. He looked older than he had an hour ago. Good growth should hurt. You don't need my forgiveness, she said. Earn your own. He swallowed, nodding again, harder this time. He wanted to ask her questions, 1,000 of them. He didn't. He turned, walked away, shoulders set with new resolve. Anya watched him go, a tug of something like pride warming her chest, faint but real. She didn't get to feel that often. Before she could escape to the parking lot, a voice called down from the stairwell. Master Sergeant Sharma. General Thorne, descending calmly, boots steady, expression unreadable. You disappeared faster than a classified file, he said. I prefer exits to applause, she replied. His mouth curved, not a smile exactly, but the ghost of one. Walk with me. She considered refusing, but Thorne wasn't asking. He was offering dignity in the form of a command. She followed him through a quiet corridor, lined with framed operations and medals belonging to men who slept soundly, men who didn't execute the hard choices. You didn't come back to train recruits, he said. You came back because you missed the fight. Her jaw tightened. I missed the clarity, she corrected. The world was simple out there, hard but simple. Thorne nodded, understanding. No good leaders are simple, he said, but some fights still need you. He handed her a file, thin, unmarked. She didn't reach for it. I'm retired. And I'm not trying to unretire you, he countered. He waited, offered silence instead of pressure. Anya hated how effective that tactic was on her. Finally, she took the file. The first photo hit like a punch to the ribs. A face she thought she'd buried. Male, bearded, scar splitting his cheek like lightning. Viktor Mirov, former Spetsnaz, now mercenary leader. Hands soaked in operations no government would ever admit existed. And worse, classified mission photo, night vision grain, Viktor holding a hostage. Her teammate gagged, bound, beaten. Private Jessica. Barely 19 when she enlisted, green, eager, too young to understand war. Too young to die. Anya's breath hitched, sharp and involuntary. She was captured yesterday, Thorne said softly. Mirov is moving her in 72 hours. If she crosses that border, we lose her forever, Anya whispered. No. She was done. She swore she was done. But Jessica's face, bruised, eyes still fighting, twisted her insides into knots. Why me, she asked. Because you know Mirov, Thorne replied, and he knows you. Yes, he did. He knew the scar beneath her ribs, the one his knife left when he killed her spotter, Kade. The real reason she walked away. She closed the file, hands trembling. She steadied them instantly, but Thorne saw. Don't make her your redemption, he cautioned. Just make her your mission. Redemption, the word made her sick. Nothing she ever did would bring Kade back, or erase the mistakes she made that night in the Zagros Mountains. She pushed the file back at him. No. The word struck the air like a blade. Thorne didn't flinch. She's your soldier. That was the wrong argument, and the right one. Not anymore. He studied her, weighing options, strategies, emotions she refused to show. You don't have to decide now, he said, but you know you already have. He turned and left her alone in the hallway, the file still in her hands. Dusk settled by the time she reached her car. She sat in the driver's seat, fingers clenched around the steering wheel. Her phone buzzed again, same unknown source. 2 words this time. Come home. She felt the world tighten, her pulse slow the way it always did when the past reached out its hand. She looked up through the windshield and saw a reflection in the glass. Her own eyes. Not the eyes of a civilian. A hunter's eyes. Her phone buzzed once more. Final message. JESSICA is running out of time. Something inside her snapped, not a break but a release. The predator she had buried, the piece of her built for fear and fire, surfaced with terrifying clarity. She started the engine. The quiet civilian life she built. Gone. Private Jennings saw her leaving. He stood outside the armory, saw her car rolling toward the perimeter. He thought about stopping her, asking where she was going, but something told him this wasn't his moment to be part of. He simply saluted to her taillights, to whatever mission called her, and whispered a promise into the wind. I won't waste what you taught me. Hours later, in a dim motel room off base, Anya laid out a duffel bag. Not the civilian bag she carried today. Her real one. She unzipped it. Steel glinted. Blades shimmered. A black rifle broke apart into precise, familiar components. Everything she once was, right where she left it. Her hands moved through preparation like a ritual, calm, mechanical, deadly. She stared at the final item in the bag. Dog tags. 2 sets. Hers. And Kade. She closed her fingers around them, tight enough to hurt. Forgive me, she breathed silently. Because she wasn't doing this to save Jessica. She was doing this to kill Victor Mirov. And she knew what that meant for her soul. She left the motel without a sound. Midnight air wrapped around her like an old friend. Clouds moved fast, a storm building. Anya didn't look back. People who lived forward never did. But as she stepped into the night, a simple, haunting truth followed like a second shadow. Some wars never end. They just wait for you to come home. What if saving Jessica meant facing the one nightmare she never escaped? That question clung to Anya's mind as her boots hit the tarmac. She walked briskly across a dimly lit hangar, every step a silent admission. She had returned. The familiar metallic scent of jet fuel, the distant rumble of engines. The world she'd tried to bury was alive again, rising around her like a ghost made of steel and memory. A C-130 waited, its cargo hatch yawning open like the mouth of a beast ready to swallow her whole. Beside the aircraft, a figure emerged from the shadows, arms crossed, posture daring her to turn around. Captain Alina Ward. Lean, sharp eyes, the kind of presence that warned people away without raising her voice. Anya's last mission commander before everything went to hell. Ward didn't smile, she assessed. You cut your hair, she said. You kept yours, Anya replied. The tension between them, thick, brittle, covered in unspoken blame. Ward motioned toward the plane. We leave in 10. So that was it, no easing into the fire. Who else is on the team? Anya asked, already knowing it didn't matter. Ward hesitated, a crack forming in her iron composure. We're not a team, just, she pointed at the C-130, you and me. A mission with only 2 operators, that wasn't extraction. That was assassination. You don't trust the others, it wasn't a question. Ward's jaw flexed. This mission, it's personal. Personal, yes. That word had a weight that could sink ships. Ward climbed the loading ramp without waiting for her. Anya followed. Inside, crates strapped tight, a single ATV, ammunition cases, a tactical map flickering under a red light. War. Ready and waiting. Somewhere else not far enough away, Jessica sat in a concrete basement, arms tied, eyes swollen, Mirov's men packing near her. She listened to their boots scrape the floor, counting steps, memorizing patterns like Anya had taught her. She wasn't dead yet, because Mirov wanted something, information, leverage, A ghost dragged into daylight. Jessica prayed the ghost would come. But she also feared what that ghost would become to save her. The C-130 engines roared them into the sky. Air vibrated through the metal floors and into Anya's bones, the sensation too familiar, too easy to slip back into. Ward strapped herself in and stared straight ahead. "You shouldn't be here," she said. Anya raised a brow. "I thought you requested me." "No, Thorne did. I told him bringing you back was a mistake." Anya absorbed that blow in silence. "That's okay," she said finally. "I told myself the same thing." Ward's nostrils flared, frustration simmering beneath her calm. "This isn't a redemption arc," she snapped quietly. "There's no salvation at the end of this, just a girl we might be too late to save." Anya's knuckles tightened around the harness straps. Ward leaned closer, voice like a knife. "Don't make decisions based on the operator you were. That woman died with Kade." The name hit Anya like a gunshot. Her breath stuttered, pulse lightning fast. Ward leaned back, emotionally spent from saying just those few words. Silence swallowed the cabin again, but not peace. Hours later, the plane touched down on a covert airstrip disguised as a dirt road somewhere beyond the margins of any map. Ward grabbed the ATV driver's handles. "Let's move." The terrain was unforgiving, jagged rock, starving trees warped by cold winds, a landscape meant for hidden sins. Anya's mind tracked the direction, distance, movement. Her heart tracked something else. Every mile closer to Mirov. Every mile closer to the scar beneath her ribs. They halted atop a ridge, overlooking a cluster of rusted industrial buildings. A forgotten Soviet depot repurposed into something darker. Spotlights swept across perimeter fences. Guards moved like bored predators, overconfident, careless. Ward pulled out a tablet displaying thermal signatures. "Jessica's down there, second sublevel." Anya took a slow breath, grounding herself the way therapy taught her. Ward watched her. "Say it," she murmured. "Say you're ready." Anya stared at the compound, cold and silent. Ready? People like her weren't ready. They were just unresolved. Finally she whispered, "I'm here." Ward nodded. It was enough. Midnight descended. Wind howled low like a warning. They went in low and fast, boots silent on gravel, shadows clinging to them like allies. A guard separated from the patrol. Ward's knife whispered across his throat, a clean, merciless line. He dropped without a sound. Ward met Anya's eyes, daring her to flinch. She didn't. They cleared the outer fence, moved through a scrapyard graveyard of forgotten wars. Every second, Anya's senses sharpened, hearing far too much and not enough. She kept expecting Kade's voice in her ear. 6 o'clock, 2 movers, you take the left. Silence. Only her own breath for company now. They reached a maintenance tunnel leading underground. Ward punched a code into a stolen keypad. The door slid open with a hiss of stale, recycled air. Inside, dim lights flickering, the sound of distant voices, machinery humming with a pulse like a heartbeat. Ward took point, but only for show. Anya could see it in the stiffness of her shoulders. She was afraid. Not of the mission. Of Anya. Memories of Zagreus clung to both of them, the gunfire, the explosion, Kade's scream swallowed by rock and fire. The moment Ward pulled Anya back instead of pressing forward. "We have to go right now, Sharma, move." And Anya did move away, not toward the man who saved her life a dozen times. Her spotter, her brother in everything but blood. She moved because she was ordered. She moved because she froze. And Kade died alone because she obeyed. Shame was the heaviest weapon she ever carried. Ward made a fist halt signal. 2 guards stood by a reinforced door. Anya moved without hesitation, slipping past Ward before she could react. She became liquid shadow. One guard turned, too slow, wrist snapped, throat crushed. The second choked on his surprise, elbow, knife drop. Ward stared at the bodies, then at Anya. "There she is," Ward whispered, "the ghost." Anya cleaned her blade without meeting her gaze. "I'm not proud of what that means." Ward keyed the door. The basement stretched into darkness, damp and suffocating. Down a narrow corridor, muffled coughing, pleading breaths. "Jessica." Anya moved first, Ward right behind her. They turned a corner and froze. The cell door was open. Jessica gone. Chains empty. Blood on the floor. Breathing but not hers. A guard slumped against the wall, barely alive, his lips purple with pain. Ward grabbed him by the jaw. "Where is she?" He coughed blood, eyes wide with terror. She wasn't alone," he gasped. "What does that mean?" Ward demanded. The guard's trembling eyes shifted toward Anya. "She kept saying, 'She's coming for me,' and he laughed and said." He coughed again, choking on fear. "He said, 'Good, we need her.'" Anya went still, completely still. Ward's grip loosened. "This was a trap," she whispered. Anya felt cold settle in her marrow. Not fear. Recognition. Mirov wanted her. Needed her. And Jessica, just bait, a lure wrapped in bruises and hope. Ward's breath hitched. He knew we'd come. Anya's jaw locked. "He knew I'd come." The guard's head thudded against the wall, lifeless. Ward backed away, mind racing, calculating escape routes. "We abort now." "No," Anya said. Ward snapped, "Don't be an idiot. If we run, she dies. She might already be dead." Anya stepped closer, voice low and lethal. "She's 19, and she believed in me. I won't let her down too." Ward studied her face, the fracture lines, the scars breathing under her skin. "You're doing this for him," she said, "for Kade." Anya didn't deny it. "I never got to say goodbye," she whispered. Ward's anger softened, grief replacing it. They both lost Kade. Both carried the wound differently. Finally, Ward nodded. "We push until we can't." No heroism in her voice, just brutal resolve. Gunfire cracked in the corridor behind them. Lights flickered red, alarms screaming awake. Ward drew her pistol, movement incoming. Anya inhaled once, long and deep. Then the world slowed into perfect clarity. Adrenaline wasn't fear for her. It was focus. 3 hostiles stormed the hall. Anya moved. 2 shots double-tap center mass. Ward dropped the third, clean headshot. They advanced deeper, each breath a countdown. They reached a stairwell. A voice echoed from above, smooth, mocking, too familiar. "Anya, come find me." "Mirov." Her trigger finger twitched. Ward's warning hand shot up. "No, he wants you angry." "He already has that," Anya hissed. They ascended carefully, the way predators stalk predators. They emerged into an old command room, dust, broken screens, a map pinned with photos. Jessica's image circled in red. But the bigger shock, a photo of Anya. Recent, civilian clothes, today. Ward cursed under her breath. "He's been watching you since you left." Anya didn't react outwardly, but inside a storm churned. She stepped closer, studied the photo. Her face empty, her eyes tired. A ghost pretending for too long to be human. Footsteps. Slow, confident, applauding. Mirov entered, flanked by 2 armed men. He smiled, and the scar on his cheek twisted into a sneer. "Ah, my favorite nightmare," he purred. Ward raised her pistol. Mirov didn't flinch. He looked only at Anya. "You came home." Anya steadied her breathing. "Let her go." "Oh, I will," he said, "after you and I finish what we started in the mountains." Ward's voice was steel. You finished nothing, you ran. Mirov ignored her, eyes locked on Anya like she was prey he'd already caged. He tapped his chest over his heart. I killed your shadow, he mocked. The one always watching over you. What was his name? Anya's pulse detonated. He smirked. Oh yes, Kade. Her scream wasn't sound, it was motion. Fierce, violent, pure. She launched at him. Gunfire lit the room. Ward shouted. A flashbang exploded. White light swallowed everything. When the world snapped back into focus, Ward was gone. The guards were gone. Mirov was gone. And Anya stood alone in a room empty of everything except her rage. He had escaped, taken Jessica, taken Ward. And he left one final gift, a simple message scrawled on the wall in Kade's blood red. Round 2. Anya stared at it, eyes burning, breathing steady. She wasn't broken. She was awake. And the war she tried to bury. It had been waiting patiently for her to come home. How do you hunt someone who is always one step inside your mind? That was the question burning through Anya's skull as she stormed into the frigid night. Mirov's taunting words still echoed inside her chest, rattling the quiet composure she fought so hard to maintain. Round 2. He knew exactly which scar to press. Kade. Her anchor. Her brother in arms. The one she left behind in Zagros, while the mountain swallowed him whole. And now Jessica, young, promising, naive Jessica, was in Mirov's hands. And Ward, the last friend she had in this rotten business, had been taken too. 2 weights on her conscience. 2 debts that would break her if she failed. She stepped into the ATV, engine roaring beneath her hands. A storm of snow-laced wind cut across the rocky valley, carrying the echo of distant thunder or maybe artillery. Her radio triggered, a crackle through static. Sharma, if you can hear me, abort, too many, Ward's voice tense and strained. Then a muffled scream. A gunshot. Silence. Anya froze, fury turning cold, sharp, focused. She drove, tires tearing into the frozen dirt, headlights slicing through the dark like a blade. Every mile closer was a mile deeper inside a trap. Mirov wasn't running from her. He was leading her. And she was following anyway. Because hesitation was a luxury she buried years ago. Miles away, under a dying light bulb in an underground torture room, Jessica huddled on the floor, hands bound behind her back, blood creeping down her temple. But she wasn't praying. She was listening. Whispers from 2 guards at the door. She killed the stairway team. That wasn't killing, that was art. Jessica's heart pounded, not from fear but from belief. Anya was coming. Her mentor. Her protector. Her monster. And that terrified her even more. The ATV lurched to a stop at the mouth of a narrow service tunnel, a gaping throat descending into darkness. Anya killed the engine, stepped off, and listened. Nothing but wind. She descended the stairs, quiet, knife drawn instead of her suppressed pistol. Bullets were loud confessions, steel was a whisper. At the bottom, a junction of 3 tunnels. She paused, fingers grazing the floor, subtle drag marks, a drop of fresh blood, a strand of long dark hair. Ward. She went left. Footsteps ahead, unaware of their doom. Anya surged forward, one arm around the first guard's throat, the other slicing clean under his ribcage. He dropped silently. The second noticed too late. She crushed his windpipe before he even touched his trigger. She dragged both bodies into a recess and took a breath. Steady. Efficient. Professional. But inside, a different battle raged. Don't think, move. She followed the tunnel deeper until it opened into another large chamber, old Soviet machinery, rusted in place like decaying skeletons. An old elevator cage sat on rails leading downward, recently used. She stepped inside, tugged the lever, and descended into the bowels of the earth. The lower level was colder, air thick with damp concrete and stale fear. She moved low. Soft. Deadly. A metal door creaked ahead, footsteps approaching. She pressed against the wall, shadow swallowing shadow. Two guards emerged carrying someone between them, a woman, limp, head covered with a dark bag. Ward. Anya's pulse hammered, but her movements didn't betray it. One guard drew a knife, complaining, "She won't live long enough to scream at him anyway." Ward groaned faint, barely there. Rage flickered, but discipline gripped tighter. Anya threw a small metal nut down the hall. The guards snapped toward the sound. What the? She fell upon them like gravity itself, silent, unstoppable. The first dropped before the second even processed reality. Ward's body almost fell. Anya caught her. Ward gasped through the bag. "Sharma, you're—" "No talking," Anya whispered. "Energy first." She carried Ward into a side alcove and cut her ties. Ward's breaths were shallow, adrenaline fatting, shock creeping in. They took her deeper, Ward forced out. "Said Mirov wants a show." Anya's jaw tightened. "Show me the path." Ward pointed a trembling finger toward another reinforced blast door. "You're hurt," Anya said, seeing blood soaking Ward's side. Ward pushed her away, jaw clenched. "I didn't come here to be saved," she growled. "I came here to help you finish this." There was the Ward she remembered, iron beneath flesh. Anya placed a pistol into Ward's good hand. "Stay behind me, always." Ward almost smiled, but pain swallowed it. They pushed through the blast door, into an industrial underground chamber lit by harsh white lights. It felt like a forgotten Cold War vault, repurposed by monsters. On a raised platform, Jessica, arms bound above her, standing just enough to keep from hanging. Face bruised, eyes swollen but open. Alive. Anya rushed forward. Click. A laser dot landed on her chest. Then dozens. Spotlights ignited, Mirov's soldiers lining the catwalks above, rifles trained. Mirov stepped into the light, applause slow, theatrical. "Finally," he said, arms wide, "the famous Master Sergeant returns to the stage." Ward cursed under her breath, pulling Anya behind a steel column. "What now?" she hissed. Anya's face was calm, the calm of inevitability. "We adapt." Mirov's voice boomed through the chamber. "You know what I want, Anya. You always did." "What?" she called back. He smiled like a man who had already won. "The names." Her blood ran colder. "You delivered hell to my brothers in Zagros," he snarled. "Someone on your team sold you out, gave us your every move. I need that name." She hadn't expected this, not again. Past betrayal slicing into present wounds. "You failed your own," he taunted. "Leave Jessica behind and maybe we let you walk away." Jessica shook her head violently, voice cracking. "Don't, Anya, don't do it." Ward grabbed Anya's arm. "He's lying, he'll kill us all." But Anya wasn't listening anymore. Because one part of Mirov's statement haunted her. "Someone on your team sold you out. A traitor." The night in Zagros, the ambush, Kade's death, Anya's scar. It wasn't bad luck. It was betrayal. Her gut clenched. "What if he's right?" she whispered. Ward froze, her expression shifting for just a moment, a flicker of something like guilt. But that thought died in the same breath, because gunfire shattered the tense silence. The world erupted. Bullets sparked against steel columns. Ward shoved Anya lower, returning suppressed fire. Anya looked upward, counting threats, mapping exits, calculating. One chance. One move. She grabbed a flash grenade, pulled the pin with her teeth. "One way out," she said. Ward nodded, bracing. Anya rolled the grenade to the center of the room. White light detonated, soldiers screaming, blind. Anya sprinted toward Jessica, Ward covering fire. Jessica screamed as bullets tore the air behind Anya. She reached the captive, cut the rope. Jessica collapsed into her arms. "I knew you'd come," Jessica whispered, voice weak. "Not dead yet," Anya murmured. "Hold tight." They sprinted behind machinery. Ward limped after them, bleeding but alive. Above them, Mirov roared orders. Alarms blared. More soldiers swarmed. Escape routes narrowed. Ward pressed her back against Anya's. "We can't get out the way we came," she said, scanning the sealed doors. "We're not going back," Anya replied. Ward frowned. "Then where?" Anya pointed to the map on the wall. "We go down." Ward stared. "That's a flooded waste drop. It goes under the mountain." "And out," Anya promised. Ward looked at her like she was insane. Maybe she was. But Jessica didn't hesitate. She grabbed Anya's vest. "I trust you." Those 3 words anchored Anya to the world. A world where she didn't have to be a monster to be useful. She kicked the grate off a drainage duct, cold water roaring below, a rushing torrent into pitch-black nothingness. Ward's eyes widened. "We'll drown." Anya nodded. "Only if we stop swimming." Gunfire closed in, Mirov's men yelling, boots pounding metal stairs on both sides. Jessica looked down into the freezing current, fear trembling in her voice. "Will we make it?" Anya placed a hand on her shoulder, steady, firm. "Stay close. Whatever happens, don't let go." Jessica nodded, eyes fierce despite everything. Ward stared into the darkness, then at Anya. "If this goes bad," she said, "you better apologize to me in hell." Anya gave the smallest of smiles. "If it goes bad, hell is where he'll find us first." Ward laughed once, breathless. Soldiers burst into the chamber, rifles raised. No time left. Anya grabbed Jessica. Ward grabbed both of them. Together, they jumped. The torrent swallowed them whole. As Mirov's scream echoed above. "Run all you want. You're mine, Sharma." Black water. Cold as death. An eternity of drowning compressed into seconds. Jessica's fingers slipped. Anya clutched harder. Refused to lose anyone else. They surged through darkness, water roaring like a beast, smashing them into rock and steel. Ward screamed when her leg struck something hard, voice mangled by water. Up. Down. Spinning. Blind panic waiting for a chance to strike. But Anya didn't panic. She endured. And then, light. They exploded out of the pipe like bullets fired from the earth itself, crashing into a river choked with drifting ice. Gasping, coughing, barely afloat. Ward thrashed, injured. Anya held her up. Jessica paddled weakly, teeth chattering. Snow drifted from a merciless night sky, mountain silhouettes rising like titans around them. They crawled onto a rocky bank, collapsed, breathing jagged and desperate. Jessica sobbed and hugged Anya tight. Ward rolled onto her back, exhaling a pained laugh. That was insane. Anya stared up at the sky, rain mixing with the tears she never let fall. Not tonight. She had too much left to do. She looked toward the mountains. Somewhere behind those black ridges, Mirov regrouped, watching, waiting. Round 2 had begun. And this time, she wasn't leaving any ghosts behind. What happens when the ghosts you run from start giving chase? The river carved them out of darkness and spit them onto a rocky shore like discarded bones. Rain hammered down, soaking through their gear, chilling their skin into numbness. The night embraced them with an uncaring silence, vast, empty, merciless. Ward groaned on the stone, a hand clutching her bleeding side. Jessica coughed water, teeth clacking against one another. Anya knelt between them, chest heaving, eyes locked on the black horizon. They were out, but not safe. Night in these mountains didn't forgive weakness. She scanned the ridgelines, nothing but jagged shapes and drifting clouds, but she felt him, Mirov, somewhere beyond sight but not beyond reach. He wasn't the type to celebrate almost winning. Jessica's voice trembled. Are we far enough? No, Anya said. We need distance. Ward spat blood into the mud. We need a damn hospital. We need to survive first, Anya corrected. Ward didn't argue. That alone showed how bad she was hurt. Jessica crawled closer. What do we do? Anya pointed uphill into darkness. We climb. Ward blinked at her like she'd lost her mind. In a storm, injured. Yes, Anya replied simply. Because staying still was worse. Stillness invited death. Ward forced a dry laugh. You know, retirement was for other people, wasn't it? Anya didn't smile. It was for better people. They climbed. Rain turned stone into glass. The wind sliced like betrayal, invisible, relentless. Every step was a negotiation with gravity. Jessica slipped twice, but Anya's grip snapped around her wrist each time, unbreakable, unwavering. Ward stumbled more and more. Her breaths came shallower, her leg wrong. Anya could see the angle, bone cracked or worse. We have to stop, Jessica pleaded. She's losing blood. If we stop now, Anya said quietly, they will find us. Jessica's eyes flicked to the trees below, imagining search teams fanning out, thermal drones, dogs trained to chase sent through nightmares. Ward leaned against a boulder, panting. Sharma. Anya met her eyes. I know. Pain lived in that short exchange, shared history in a single moment. Ward wasn't asking for rest. She was warning that she would slow them down. Jessica placed herself between them, trembling but brave. We can't leave her. We won't leave her. Anya didn't respond, because she never intended to leave anyone again. But logic and loyalty, those were opposing forces tonight. She removed her knife, and Jessica's eyes widened in panic. What are you? Anya cut strips from her own jacket. Kneeling, she wrapped Ward's thigh, binding tight to stabilize the bone. Ward winced, biting back a cry. It'll hold for now, Anya said. But you can't run, you can only follow. Ward grunted. Who said I'm planning on dying here? Anya actually smiled, a thin, hard line. Not you, she said, not today. They moved again, slower now but still moving, determined. Crack! Something snapped in the valley below. Jessica jerked. What was that? Ward scanned the darkness. Dog patrols. Not dogs, Anya murmured. Then they heard it, a metallic chorus. Drones. Scanning, hunting, circling like metal vultures searching for warm flesh in cold wilderness. Jessica's breath hitched. How do we hide from something that sees everything? Anya crouched. We adapt. She shoved their backpacks into a rocky crevice, stripped away anything reflective. Then she pulled Jessica and Ward close, huddling them beneath a shelf of stone and wet earth. Ward's voice was faint. If they get us. They won't, Anya said. She said it like a fact because fear was useless. Jessica leaned into her side, shivering hard enough to rattle bones. Anya wrapped an arm around her, protective and steady. Jessica whispered, You came for me. A pause. You're still coming for me. Anya tightened her hold slightly. I made a promise. Jessica's chin trembled. People like Mirov, they break promises. People like you keep them. Anya let the silence settle. Rain pattered on rock. The hum of the drones faded. She didn't speak because the truth tasted bitter. She didn't keep every promise. Kade was proof. Her fingers drifted subconsciously to the dog tags at her neck, Cold metal, heavy memories. Jessica noticed he was your spotter. Anya's breath snagged. Yes. Jessica nodded, as if she already knew. Ward shifted painfully, voice low. He wasn't just her spotter. Anya shot her a warning look, but the dam had cracked. Ward continued anyway, kindness weaponizing honesty. They saved each other's lives more times than I can count. Partners, family, he died protecting her. Anya's jaw clenched, rage and regret swirling like a storm's eye. And I left him, she whispered, voice barely audible. Jessica's eyes widened. No. Yes, Anya hissed, more at herself than anyone else. I ran when he needed me. Ward forced herself upright, despite agony. You followed orders, she said sharply. You were shot, bleeding out. Kade pulled you toward the evac point and ordered me to drag you out because he stayed back to hold the line. Anya shook her head. He trusted me to stay, and I didn't. Ward looked at her for a long moment, storm and sorrow in equal measure. You blamed the wrong person, Ward said quietly. The traitor sold all of us out, not you. Ah, there it was. The truth. Anya feared Hugh was using her to lure out the rat who fed him intel years ago. Jessica's voice cracked. Then, why would someone in your own team do that? Ward froze, gaze shifting away, just for a second. Anya saw it. A flicker. A tremor. A truth Ward was hiding. Jessica didn't miss it either. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Captain, was it you? Ward's eyes snapped to hers, shocked, furious. No. A denial too fast. Anya's voice cut through like a blade. Everyone on that team died, except you. Ward's nostrils flared, pained rage surfacing. You think I would betray Kade, betray you? Anya stared into her, searching, but this wasn't a battlefield problem she could solve. Trust was murky, memory distorted by trauma. Ward's next words sliced deep. If you blame me, then why did you come when I called? Jessica waited. Anya didn't answer. Because she didn't know. Because some part of her still believed Ward was the only one who knew how to keep her human. Because if Ward was the traitor, then Anya's entire world had already collapsed. Jessica whispered, let's just survive tonight, please. Anya breathed out slowly, controlling the chaos. Tomorrow, she said, we deal with truth tomorrow. Ward looked away, accepting the ceasefire, but wounded by the accusation. The rain slowed. Dawn threatened the horizon, a bruised smear of purple rising behind the mountains. They kept climbing until the forest thickened into twisted pines. An abandoned ranger outpost loomed, a rotting shack with a collapsed roof and boarded windows. Not safe, but shelter. Inside, the air stank of mold and rust, but it was roof, walls, breathing space. Anya collapsed by the broken window, scanning for movement as Jessica helped Ward lie down. Ward's breathing was shallow, eyelids fluttering, shock creeping in. Jessica wiped rain from her own face. She needs a medic. I know, Anya said softly. Jessica sat beside her, voice fragile. Are we going to die out here? Anya didn't answer right away. She looked at Ward, pale, shaking. She thought of Mirov gaining ground. She thought of Thorne, who sent her here. She thought of Kade, last words lost under stone. Then she looked Jessica in the eyes. No one dies on my watch, she said. Not anymore. Not ever again. Jessica nodded, tears burning away weakness. Then, CRNK. A twig snapped outside. Ward's eyes shot open, movement. Anya crouched low, pistol raised. Jessica trembled, but she held a knife, knuckles white. Bootsteps outside. Slow. Deliberate. Through a crack in the wall, a silhouette approached. Anya steadied her breath, trigger half squeezed. The door creaked open. and a man stepped in wearing U.S. tactical gear. General Thorne. But his hands were raised, empty. His face. Not relief. Not anger. Concern. "You need to come with me," he said, voice low and urgent. "Now." Ward stared, shocked. Jessica blinked, confused. Anya did lower the gun. "Why?" she demanded. Thorne swallowed, bracing for impact. "Because Mirov isn't working alone," he said. She narrowed her eyes. "And who's the partner?" Thorne met Ward's gaze. Ward tensed, pain and fear mixing in her eyes. And Thorne spoke the name that shattered everything. The traitor was Kade. What if the person you loved most was the one who handed you to the wolves? The question struck Anya like a bullet that didn't tear flesh, only trust. Thorne's words didn't land quietly. They were an explosion without sound. Kade. Her brother. Her memory of loyalty carved into bone. Jessica looked between them, shaken. Ward froze, not blinking, not breathing, like her body might shatter if she moved. Anya's pistol never trembled. But her heart did. "You're lying," she said evenly. Thorne didn't flinch. "I wish I was." Jessica shook her head. "Kade's dead. There's no gain in blaming him." Thorne stepped inside, cautious, eyes scanning for threats. This was bigger than Zagreus, bigger than your team. Kade wasn't just a soldier, he was compromised, years before you ever met him. Ward gritted her teeth, pushing up on an elbow despite the pain. "You disappear for days. You're vague about operational intel. And now you show up alone with a story that conveniently pins this all on someone who can't defend himself." Her voice cracked, anger and hurt tangled. He met Ward's rage without raising his own. "You want proof?" he asked quietly. He pulled a weathered drive from his pocket and tossed it to Anya. She caught it, fingers tightening around cold metal. "That contains intercepted communications. Codes only one of you knew, and Kade used them to contact Mirov's network." Ward spat accusations. "Conveniently you found this now." Thorne's jaw flexed. "Because someone removed it from the archive, buried it, tied off every loose end." Jessica's voice shrank to a whisper. "Someone on our side." Thorne nodded. "And that someone is close." The wind battered the shack. Walls creaked under nature's pressure. The world felt smaller, air heavier. Ward sat upright, pale, sweating but defiant. "You're saying he betrayed us all for what? Money? Revenge?" Thorne hesitated, and that hesitation told its own story. "Not revenge," he said, "protection." Anya's pulse stumbled. "What did Mirov have on him?" she demanded. Thorne sighed, shoulders collapsing under invisible weight. "His family." Anya staggered back a step. Her grip loosened, but the gun stayed trained. "Kade." The man who shielded her from bullets. Who taught her to breathe before she shot. Who leaned his forehead to hers and whispered, "We get home together." Kade a traitor? No, that wasn't possible. Her soul rejected it, fought it, bled against it. Thorne took another careful step. He thought he could play both sides, protect you and satisfy Mirov. But the game ended when Mirov wanted full control. Jessica gasped softly. Kade died because he refused to betray Anya completely. Thorne nodded. "Exactly." Ward's head dropped, grief and disbelief clashing. "They pinned you down that night," Thorne continued. "Mirov ordered him to lead you into that valley, but when the ambush started, Kade changed the plan." Thorne's eyes softened, rare vulnerability cracking his voice. "He saved your life, Anya. He paid for that decision." Anya's throat burned like acid. Her pulse roared. "He protected her." When betrayal became loyalty again, it was too late. Jessica stepped closer, her hand cautiously touching Anya's arm. "What matters is he chose you." Ward's voice, low and ragged. He died proving where his loyalty really was. Anya closed her eyes. A war raged inside her. Love versus betrayal. Duty versus memory. She opened them again, and the fury changed shape. It wasn't self-directed anymore. Mirov killed him, she said. The truth tasted like steel. And now he's trying to kill us the same way, from within. Thorne nodded solemnly. Which brings me to the real danger, he said. His gaze swept the room and stopped on Ward. Ward stiffened, hand creeping toward her pistol. What the hell are you implying? Thorne pointed his rifle square at Ward's chest. You fed him intel too. Jessica gasped, no. No, Anya said, gun re-aiming instantly on Thorne. We are not doing this. Ward's jaw shook, not with fear but with rage. Put that down, she hissed at Thorne, before I forget I'm injured and break your damn neck. Thorne kept his grip steady. Mirov knew you'd be here. He knew everything except one thing, that I'd arrive first. He shifted slightly, enough that Ward could see his trembling hand. Not nerves. Regret. You weren't the original traitor, he said. But when Kade died, someone had to pick up the signal, pass the scraps. Ward's lips trembled, eyes flickering with pain deeper than physical. You think I helped that bastard, she whispered. Thorne's voice hardened. You made contact with someone after Zagreus. Ward clenched her fists, blood from her injury smearing the dusty wood floor. I sold intel to an extraction asset, she snapped. I was trying to save her. She pointed at Anya, fury overtaking pain. When command left her for dead, when everyone wrote her off as collateral, I begged every shadow network for help. I thought someone would listen. Her rage collapsed into broken truth. I didn't know that network belonged to Mirov. Thorne's aim didn't lower. If I didn't stop you, your mistake would get her killed. Ward's eyes filled, tears she refused to let fall. I would cut out my own heart before betraying Sharma. Jessica backed away, breath shaking like the air itself was poison. Anya stepped forward directly between them, shielding Ward, weapon aimed at Thorne's throat. You point a gun at her again, she said quietly. And I will end you. Thorne froze. He measured the truth in her words. Believed it. Slowly, reluctantly. He lowered his weapon. The tension didn't evaporate, it condensed into something sharper. Ward slumped back against the wall, eyes closing against fresh waves of pain. Jessica dropped beside her, checking her pulse, whispering comfort. Thorne looked at Anya. You trust her? No, Anya answered. Ward flinched. But I won't lose her. Thorne's shoulders eased, not because he agreed, but because he understood. We don't have much time, he said. I have a safe house a few miles west. Supplies, communication, medics. We get there before sunrise or we don't get there. Anya holstered her pistol. We move. Thorne lifted Ward, she hissed at the pain but didn't resist. Jessica grabbed whatever gear remained. Anya silently took point, scanning through a cracked window. Cold gray light touched the mountains, dawn creeping in. A new hunt beginning. Anya breathed in the icy air. Kade, she thought, if you broke, I forgive you, but I'm finishing what you started. They slipped into the forest, ghosts against shifting fog. Mirov's drones hummed across the sky, searching. Ward's voice floated from behind, weak but sharp. Sharma, if you were wrong about me, what then? Anya didn't look back. I won't be wrong again. Ward exhaled, a sound somewhere between relief and heartbreak. Thorne guided them through rock formations and dead brush, moving like a man who'd navigated these paths too many times. Jessica stayed close to Anya's back, every step a tremor of determination building. The safe house appeared, a rusted concrete bunker swallowed by overgrown pine. Almost there. Almost safe. But safety was a lie in Mirov's world. Anya felt it, instinct tightening her grip. "Stop," she hissed. Thorne froze. Jessica's pulse halted. Ward's fingers dug into Thorne's shoulder. Anya lowered to the dirt, examining footprints near the bunker door. Not old, not deep, heavy boots, multiple pairs. Mirov's men were waiting. Thorne cursed under his breath. "How?" Ward's voice was barely sound. "You said he didn't know you were coming." Thorne's silence said everything. Jessica drew in a breath, realization stealing her voice. "If he knew, that means—" Ward finished for her, eyes black with betrayal. "Thorne led him here." Anya stood, turning slowly toward Thorne, pistol rising. "He didn't reach for his weapon, he didn't run. He just whispered. I had to make sure you would come." Jessica's knees buckled. Ward stared at him like seeing a ghost. Anya's voice was a blade made of grief. "You're the reason Kade died, aren't you?" Thorne's eyes closed. "I saved who I could." "Not the one who mattered most," Anya snapped. Boots crunched behind them. Mirov's voice too close. Too casual. "Don't blame him, Anya. We all make choices." Anya pivoted, gun up, but Mirov was already aiming. Jessica froze behind her. Ward reached for her pistol, too slow. Thorne stepped forward, hands raised. "Mirov." Bang. Thorne staggered. Collapsed. Jessica screamed. Ward tried to stand, fell. Anya didn't flinch. Her eyes locked onto the devil, wearing a soldier's smile. "You and I," Mirov said softly, "we were always meant to finish this face to face." He cocked his head, icy amusement flickering. "Last chance, Sharma. Surrender or watch them die screaming." Anya stepped forward, shielding Ward and Jessica behind her. Her voice didn't shake. "I don't surrender." Mirov smiled wider. "I was hoping you'd say that." Gunfire erupted. The mountain held its breath. Round 3 began with blood. How do you fight a monster who knows every fear that makes you human? Gunfire ripped through the morning fog, shredding the silence into sharp, panicked breaths. Anya dropped to a crouch as bullets chewed through bark and stone around them. Ward crawled behind a fallen log, clutching her wound. Jessica flattened behind Anya, eyes wide but locked, alert. Mirov's forces encircled them, shadows moving fast and sure through trees that stood like spectators. Anya spotted at least 8 rifles, maybe more. Thorne lay sprawled in the mud, blood pumping slow but steady from his chest. His breaths came ragged, that wet sound soldiers feared. He wasn't dead yet. But he was falling, slipping, paying for sins too late. Anya's instincts were pure steel, no panic, only priorities. Protect the living. Punish the guilty. Survive. She fired 3 controlled shots. 2 soldiers disappeared into the haze, their screams swallowed by pine and fog. The rest fanned out wider, coordinated, disciplined. Mirov's men weren't amateurs. They were the kind who didn't hesitate to kill the wounded first. Ward raised her sidearm, firing weakly. 1 bullet hit dirt. She cursed under her breath, voice thick. "Damn it, Sharma, leave me." "No," Anya snapped. Jessica steadied her own hands and fired a shaky shot, but it forced movement, forced hesitation. It bought them a heartbeat. A heartbeat was enough. Anya slid a smoke grenade up the slope, metal clicked as it rolled. Then a burst of white swallowed the tree line. "Move," she barked. Thorne coughed blood trying to sit up, his voice cracked. "Don't trust him." She didn't have time for riddles. She hauled him up with one arm, fired blindly with the other, pushing Jessica and Ward toward broken terrain where fog pooled thick and deep. Mirov's calm voice cut through the chaos. "Anya, don't run. All of this ends today. Choose who dies first, and I may consider letting you watch." His men laughed cold, excited. This was sport for them. Anya didn't respond. She didn't taunt. She didn't scream. She just kept moving. They ducked behind a slab of rock. Jessica pressed her hands to Ward's wound, trying to slow bleeding. Thorne wheezed, coughing red into his glove. Anya leaned out, scanned, fired. 3 more down. But the circle tightened. Ward's face paled. She blinked through a haze of agony. "Sharma," she swallowed hard. "If you don't end this now, no one walks away." Anya didn't look at her. "We're not dying here." "This isn't optimism," Ward hissed. "This is math." Jessica trembled. "What do we do? The bunker is compromised," Anya said. Thorne sucked in a rattling breath. "I tried to buy time," he said. "Didn't expect him to move so fast." He grabbed Anya's vest, desperate fingers gripping. "You have to finish it. There's a supply cache under the old outpost, comms linked to a satellite. You can request air evac." "How?" Anya asked. Thorne pressed a code key into her hand, slick with his blood. "Get them out, end him." His eyes darkened, the last flicker of command authority dying into fear. "He will never stop hunting you." Jessica whispered, "What about you?" Thorne managed the shadow of a smile. "I stopped running the moment I found you." Another volley of gunfire sprayed the rock, chips blasting into the air. Ward forced a painful grin. He always did love dramatic timing. Anya turned to Jessica. "How many shots left?" Jessica checked her magazine like she was afraid to see inside. 5. Ward held up hers. 3 and 2 grenades. Anya nodded slowly. "Enough." "Maybe." Her hand brushed the dog tags hidden beneath her plate carrier. Memories surged. Kade's voice, steady in every storm. "When they think they have you cornered, that's when you strike." Mirov shouted again, closer now. "Last warning, Sharma. Give up the kid and the cripple, walk away with your life." Jessica clenched her jaw, tears of terror turning into something harder. "I'm not a kid." Ward spit blood in the dirt. "And I don't cripple easy." Anya rose from the cover, sniper precise, and fired. 1 headshot. Then another. Mirov laughed, delighted. "That's the Anya I remember." Ward groaned, her hand clamping down on Anya's wrist. "You have to end him." "I intend to." "No," Ward said, a ghost of fear crossing her eyes. "End him before he tells you the rest, before he breaks you." Anya's voice came out low, dangerous. "He already tried." Ward whispered back. "He hasn't even started." Footsteps crunched through pine needles, too close. Jessica sucked in a breath. "They're flanking." Anya dragged Ward and Thorne behind a thicker tree base. No cover was perfect, but better than death. Jessica followed, breath fast. Mirov stepped into view, alone at first, rifle lowered as if this were a conversation. His coat fluttered in the wind like he belonged to this violence, like he commanded the weather too. "You could have had peace," he said. "A quiet medal, a name etched on a wall, but no, you had to keep digging, had to prove you were more than a ghost." Anya stared into his eyes, searching for what she once missed. No regret lived there. Only hunger. "You killed Kade," she said. He smiled, slow and cruel. "He killed himself the day he chose you." The words struck like shrapnel. "He begged for your life before he died," Mirov continued. "Offered everything for nothing. He died believing you were worth it." Jessica's hand tightened on Anya's arm. Ward watched Mirov with pure hatred. "And now," Mirov finished, "I'm going to prove he was wrong." Anya's voice was calm. Colder than the wind. "You aren't worthy of saying his name." Mirov tilted his head, amused. "Then let's make new memories." He stepped aside, revealing 2 soldiers dragging someone by the collar. A third captive. Bound bruised. Anya's heart stopped. No. Not possible. Kade. His face bloodied but unmistakable. Jessica choked on a breath. Ward's eyes widened, disbelieving. Thorne's head jerked up as if pulled by a string. Kade alive. Alive. Anya's gun faltered for the first time. Mirov's grin widened, the grin of a man who savors the kill slowly. Surprised, he didn't die in that cave. I saved him. I rebuilt him. While you mourned, we prepared. Kade was shoved onto his knees, staring up. His eyes were wrong. Empty. Broken. Say hello, sweetheart, Mirov cooed. Kade spoke, voice hollow. Anya, you should have left me buried. Her knees almost buckled. Ward gasped, breath stolen. Jessica whispered, no, no. Mirov spread his arms. Your loyalty is your weakness, and now it will destroy you. Gunfire erupted before Anya could breathe. Thorne lunged, dragging himself upright. He fired his last rounds, cutting down the soldiers holding Kade. He shouted, move, finish. Crack. A bullet tore through Thorne's skull. He dropped, instantly gone. Jessica screamed, but Anya didn't flinch. She grabbed Kade, pulling him behind a boulder. But Kade shoved her back, panic twisting his face. Don't, he begged. I'm wired. Anya froze. Wired. A vest under his shirt. Trigger strapped around his chest. He was a bomb. Ward cursed softly, dread choking her voice. They turned him. Mirov's laughter echoed, thunder following lightning. One heartbeat from saving the world or ending yours. Kade's eyes filled, the ghost of the man she knew trapped behind terror. Anya. He sobbed. I didn't want this. She held his face, hands steady even as the world unraveled. I'm here, she whispered. I'm right here. Forgive me, he begged. There's nothing to forgive. Mirov screamed, rage finally cracking the surface. Pull it now. Kade's finger twitched on the dead man's switch. Jessica cried out. Ward reached toward them, blood dripping, a silent plea. Kade trembled, shaking his head violently. No, no, no. Mirov aimed at Jessica. Her first. Anya didn't think. Didn't breathe. Didn't wait. She drove her knife downward. Into Kade's heart. His eyes widened, relief mixing with sorrow. Thank you. The switch loosened from his fingers, unfired. She lowered him gently, a goodbye without words. Kade died in her arms again, but this time he was free. Ward clutched her mouth, eyes drowning. Jessica cried silent tears, the kind that scar young souls. Mirov stared, shock then glee. Tragic, he said, but now you've finally chosen a side, mine. Anya laid Kade down, kissed his forehead, stood. She faced Mirov with a stillness that terrified even the wind. No, she said. I chose justice. Her rifle raised smooth, silent, fatal. She fired. Mirov's shoulder burst, he fell back, roaring in pain. The battle wasn't over. But the war had just taken a turn. Anya exhaled, every breath now sharpened into purpose. Kade's sacrifice lit a fire that couldn't be extinguished. Not by Mirov. Not by guilt. Not by grief. She whispered to the storm. You killed the wrong ghost. What does a warrior become when there is nothing left to fight for except the truth? Smoke rose from the cratered earth around Anya. Gunfire still echoed, fatting into the mountains like thunder rolling away. Snowflakes drifted through the haze, soft, almost merciful, indifferent to the blood spilled beneath them. Kade lay still. A quiet peace finally claimed him. Ward dragged herself behind a rock, breath ragged, trying to stay conscious. Jessica crouched beside her, one hand pressing down on the wound, the other wiping tears that wouldn't stop. But Anya, she wasn't crying. Her grief hadn't shattered her, it sharpened her. Somewhere in the fog, wounded but alive, Mirov was running, trying to escape the consequences of every life he shattered. He wouldn't succeed. Anya picked up her rifle, Kade's tags catching the pale light, and stepped forward. "Sharma, wait," Ward panted. Anya paused for half a heartbeat. Ward's eyes locked with hers, equal parts fear and understanding. "This isn't justice anymore," Ward said. "This is personal." Anya's reply was steady as the ice underfoot. "Yes." Jessica rose, wiping her face, trying to be brave. "Anya, come back." Anya turned, just enough for Jessica to see her eyes. "Protect her," she said softly. "Keep her alive." Jessica nodded, tears dripping onto clenched fists. Anya faced the smoking trees again and disappeared into the fog. She stalked through the forest, footsteps silent, breath controlled. Snow cushioned every movement, every sense dialed into pure instinct. A trail of red droplets dotted the ground, Mirov's life spilling ahead of her like breadcrumbs to the final chapter. He could hide behind excuses, behind twisted versions of the past, behind the lies he spun from soldiers, ghosts. But he couldn't hide from her anymore. Through pine and frost, she advanced, slow-burning fury in every step. Crnk. A snapped twig. He was close. She dropped low, scanning. There. He stumbled into a clearing near a frozen ravine. One arm hung limp from the bullet she gifted him. He turned, saw her, cursed. "You think killing me gives him back, gives any of them back," he snarled. "No," Anya said. "But it ends you." He smirked, a blood on his teeth. "You stabbed the one person you loved. I didn't have to break you, you did it yourself." Anya's vision trembled for the first time. Pain tried to drown her, but the memory of Kade's final breath anchored her. "He asked to be freed," she whispered, "from the hell you made." Mirov's expression twisted, years of cruelty flaring. "He begged," he spat, crying like a child, "please don't hurt her," pathetic. Anya didn't scream, didn't break. She let silence cut deeper than rage. Mirov raised his rifle one-handed, sloppy, but desperate. Anya fired first. His gun spun from his grip, fingers shattered. He screamed, grabbed his bleeding hand, stumbled backward. Toward the edge. "What now?" he gasped. "Execution, that who you are now?" She advanced slowly. "I am what you made," she said. His back hit open air, a sheer drop behind him. He looked down, then up, a flicker of fear finally breaking through. "If you kill me," he rasped, "you become me." Anya stopped inches from him. "Kade died trying to save his humanity," she said. "I won't waste that." He stared, confused, hopeful for a fraction of a second. She holstered her weapon. "I'm not here to kill you, Mirov." His relief was short-lived. She stepped forward, forcing him to stumble over the edge. He screamed, hands clawing at ice, dangling above the ravine by one arm. Anya crouched, staring into the eyes of the man who hunted her soul for years. "You're going to live," she said. He trembled, shock widening his eyes. "You're going to live long enough to spend your life answering for every one of them." His grip slipped on wet rock. She didn't offer her hand. "What did Kade always tell me?" she murmured. "Justice isn't mercy, it's consequence." His fingers lost the fight. He fell. His scream vanished into the darkness far below, swallowed by the earth he used to hide his sins. No bullet. No glory. Just gravity delivering judgment. Anya stood alone at the edge, breath-forming clouds in the cold air. For the first time in years, her pulse slowed. Her body recognized survival. But her eyes, They recognized loss. Anya returned to the clearing. Jessica saw her first, shoulders loosening when she recognized the silhouette. Anya knelt beside Ward, checking her pulse, still there, faint, fighting. Ward smirked weakly. "Did you win?" "No," Anya said. "We survived." Jessica looked toward the ravine, then back at her. "Is he gone?" "He fell," Anya replied. "Let the earth keep him." Ward swallowed, relief and dread mixing. "And Thorne?" Anya lowered her head. "We take him with us." Ward blinked back a tear, for a man she had hated a little and respected a lot. Anya turned to Jessica, voice steadier than she felt. "We go to the safe house. We call for evac. Ward goes first." Jessica nodded, resolve forging itself in fire. "She'll make it," she said. Anya touched Jessica's cheek, gentle, thankful. "You did well today." Jessica's eyes widened. "I was terrified." "That means you're still human," Anya replied. "Hold on to that. It's harder than pulling a trigger." Jessica helped Ward to her feet, Thorne's tags tucked into her pocket. They moved slow, Anya supporting Ward's other side. The mountain didn't fight them anymore. Snow quieted its assault. The wind eased. Like the world finally acknowledging their endurance. Hours later, rotor blades cut the silence. A rescue helicopter dipped through the clouds, spotlight finding them. As Ward was loaded onto the stretcher, she grabbed Anya's wrist. "You saved me," Ward whispered. Anya shook her head. "We saved each other." Jessica hugged Anya, fierce but shaky. "You came back." "You gave me a reason to," Anya said. Jessica stepped into the helicopter, never breaking eye contact, promise and gratitude braided into that stare. When the bird lifted, Ward and Jessica safe inside, Anya stood alone on the landing zone. Wind from the rotors kicked snow into a blizzard of light. She didn't step toward the helicopter. She didn't reach for rescue. Command wanted her back in a room where metals substitute for memory. But Kade's dog tags hung against her chest, heavy with meaning. Her mission wasn't over. Not yet. Weeks passed. The world stamped Mirov's disappearance as presumed dead. Ward survived, rehab ahead but alive. Jessica no longer just a recruit, trained harder, eyes sharper, heart stronger. Thorne was buried with honor, sins washed beneath the flag he served until his last breath. And Anya. She found herself on a small pier at dusk, ocean wind tangling her hair, the horizon ahead glowing like a second chance. She removed the dog tags. Kade's name gleamed in the dying light. She kissed them once and let them go. They fell into the water, sinking quietly, returning him to peace. She whispered into the waves. "You stayed until the end. Now I'll do the same." Her radio buzzed. A voice she hadn't heard since before her life burned down. "Master Sergeant Sharma, Command has an assignment, optional, off-record, high stakes, high reward. Are you ready?" Anya looked out at the sea, steady. "I don't run from ghosts anymore," she said. "I become theirs." A pause on the line. "Copy that, extraction inbound." Anya holstered her weapon. Ready. Not because she was unbroken, but because she still felt every crack and kept going. Sometimes justice is not loud. Sometimes survival is not triumphant. Sometimes heroes don't heal, they live through the hurt. But sometimes dignity doesn't speak. It simply acts.